everyone, ciao a tutti. This is Papilla ASMR. Welcome to another ASMR baking videos. Today I thought I'd tried with you a recipe that I've never made before. I found this recipe on an Italian website, possibly like the Italian website for recipes, La Cucina Italiana. And so it's a cake made with carrots, apple and coconut. What you can read here, it has nothing to do with plums. I have absolutely no idea why in Italy cakes made in this sort of cake tin with this shape are called plum cake, or as we actually pronounce it, plum cake. I have no idea where that started and why. But so there are no plums in here, but there are carrots, apples and coconut. So I'm just going to be looking at the recipe and let's see how it'll turn out. So the ingredients are for 4 or 6 portions, it says. We want, I think this is it printed a little bit weird, but I think it's 110 of flour, 80 grams of carrots, 80 grams of sunflower oil, 70 grams of apple, 70 grams of sugar, 20 grams of coconut, like grated coconut, plus a little bit more, it says. And then we're going to need baking powder, but I actually have just self-raising flour today, so I'm just gonna trust that would suffice. And it is 6 grams, so I guess I can add 6 grams to the flour, but and then it says 1 egg, vanilla, so like a vanilla pots, sorry, like this one's, and a lemon, and then it says honey, which it is actually for like at the end to kind of coat the cake with, so sort of like a glaze made with honey, I think, and then so that the extra coconut that's sprinkled on the top, it's more easily like it stacks more easily. That's how I understand it. And it says to serve this cake with tea. So the first thing, so it says, per la ricetta del plum cake con carote, mele e cocco, montate la carota e la mela e frullatele grossolanamente nel mixer. So it says to start by cleaning the carrots and take the carrot and the apple and blend it in a mixer. Then it says, mescolate con la farina, lo zucchero, il cocco grattugiato, il lievito, i semi di un bacello di vaniglia, la scorza grattugiata di mezzo limone, l'uovo e l'olio. So then we're going to blend it with a flour, sugar, the coconut, the baking powder if you're using it. So if you're using baking powder with plain flour instead of self-raising flour like I would do. The vanilla pod seeds, and then the, trying to remember the name, oh boy, my mind is gone completely blank. So we need to grate half this lemon basically and add it to. Then the egg and the oil. So it sounds quite straightforward. There are quite a few kind of noisy procedures, let's say. So I will go and do that far from the microphone. So let's start. I'm thinking, since it says 80 grams of carrots and 80 grams of apple. So I'm thinking of like cleaning them and cutting them, and then weight the amount that I need afterwards. Yeah, just snack on whatever is left, basically. turns out that 80 grams of carrots is about 2 medium ones, and 80 grams of apple is 1 apple. So I'm going to blend this in the mixer and come back. So this is the result. Come out quite thinly, sort of sliced, but I guess that depends on your blender. So now we have to basically measure all the rest of the ingredients and just mix them together. So for that, I'm going to get this big bowl, and I guess the first thing is flour. Which I have here. So again, this is self-raising flour, and I just hope that it would work like adding flour and baking powder separately. In fact, I don't even remember it. I don't think they had it when I was living there. And obviously this is an Italian recipe. Okay, so we need 110, and I already put too much, so 117, 13, that will do. I try to be less perfect, as in trying not to do things too perfectly and neatly, to sort of teach my child that it's okay not to be perfect and not to aim for that either, because it causes, it can cause a lot of issues down the line. So I try not to like do her hair too perfectly, or all those sort of things that I have to say I am naturally inclined to do. So it's not easy, but I think it would benefit her in the long run. At least that's what psychology says. So now we're going to need 75 grams of sugar, which I'm just going to add to the flour. This is British caster sugar, it says. So yeah, it's just very fine. Okay, 70. Must be a bit old because it has sort of lumps. coconut. I didn't used to like recipes with coconut actually. Well, let's say sweet recipes with coconut, because I always liked in curries and stuff like that. But I don't know, a few years ago I just tried some Australian biscuits called Anzac, and they're really, really nice oat biscuits with coconut. And from then on I just I started having sweet things with coconut, and I actually really like it now. So it says 20 grams, so let's do that. Okay. Okay, I'll put another elastic band because this sort of like peel and reuse kind of labels, I don't know you, but they never work with me. And so I used to, just drop all sorts of like little very annoying things to drop in my cupboards, like very small pasta and this kind of things and flour. So I've started using these together with the labels, the sticky labels. It's much better. So I think now is the turn, the vanilla. It says one, a whole one. It seems like a lot to me, but so this is kind of half, I think, because this is, I think this is half, like I think I cut it in like alongside vertically. So I think I'm just going to use this bit because, to be perfectly honest with you, it is very expensive. So I prefer to use it in recipes like cheesecake, with things where you actually need to taste it a lot, like it's the star of the recipe kind of thing, rather than just as a side kind of flavor. So okay. These are the seeds of the vanilla, which again I very rarely use. I might have said in another recipe that I just that's all they had one day in a supermarket. So that's why I got this very expensive stuff. But obviously on a website like La Cucina Italiana, they tend to write the ideal sort of products, but you don't need to. The vanilla extract is absolutely fine. I do have to say that the very cheap ones tend to taste very artificial. So I think a much better investment is just a very good vanilla extract. And you would use it for a long time. So that's what I usually do. So then it says to add a zest, that's the word I was looking for earlier, of half a lemon. And I hope this is not a waxed, the lemons that they treat with wax, because it didn't say anything at the supermarket. So in this case I'm not sure, but too late now. It's the only lemon I've got. What a wonderful smell. I'm transported to Sicily or Amalfi or something. So obviously, as you can tell, I don't have the proper tool, which would be with much smaller holes. So I recommend you use that if you have. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like slicing this as thin as I can now. One thing I wanted to say is to be careful with lemons. To always do this kind of job like this, so that you can see what you're doing, because you want to avoid getting a lot of the white part, which is just below the surface. And this is because the white part is quite bitter, so we don't want that. Let's see now if I can. So I'm just gonna make smaller pieces, and otherwise it will just have to be, we'll just have to call it rustic. That's what we do in this case, isn't it? Okay, I think this is fine actually, but the finer the better ideally. Okay, so I think now it's just the egg and the oil. So again, it was, just have a look. It was so 80 grams of oil. So what I have here it's just simple sunflower oil. There are some cakes with olive oil, but it does give quite a strong taste, so I only use that if the recipe calls for it. Otherwise, just sunflower oil. But rapeseed oil, I guess it's okay as well. Just any sort of mild one. And then 1 egg, okay. So I guess it is quite weird for non-Italians to have liquids stated in grams. I've been asked this in the past, and I'm not quite sure what the reason for it is. I think maybe it's just more maybe accurate. I'm not sure. We need to ask some like sort of Italian baker, I guess, or chef. And if it is something that's done anywhere else. So I hope the vanilla will, mix into the, with the rest, rather than just remain a big lump, because that wouldn't be nice. Yeah, I already can't see it. Okay, so let's add the carrots and apple first. The smell is very much like a fruit juice that we have It's very much like a fruit juice that we have in Italy called ACE, and so it is a fruit juice made with carrots and apple and oranges. It's really, really nice. So obviously this smells like that, but I'm also getting quite a strong smell of lemon. So this is very, very sort of lumpy, and yeah, there's a lot of I think the fruit, I think the apple and the carrot is really, really protagonist, let's say. So I'm just going to add 1 egg to the oil, and so let's just give this a little mix. I'm just going to add it to the rest. To be honest with you, I'm kind of tempted to add more flour because it really looks very chunky. So I guess now I have to take the decision of either completely improvise and add just random flour, or just trust the recipe from La Cucina Italiana and bake it like this. So I've decided to add a little bit more of flour. But I'm not proud of it, let's say. That's it. And I realized that when the recipe said a little bit more of oil, it meant for the cake tin. Just to spread it in the cake tin, but I'm going to use one of these. So I will need to do that. So I guess this recipe is good if you don't want to use, like a hand mixer or an electric mixer or a stand one, like a sort of a KitchenAid kind of thing. Just mix the ingredients with a spoon, as you saw. So I have to say it's quite it was quite easy to make. But let's see how it will taste. I'm very curious. So it says put in the oven for 175 degrees for 40 minutes. Let it cool. Take it out of the cake tin and brush it with a little bit of honey, melted in a little saucepan, it says. And then sprinkle more coconut on the top. And serve with a cup of tea. So let's go in the oven and I'll see you in 40 minutes. So this is the result. It I think that is normal, considering all the the carrots and apple and coconut that was inside. So I don't think it's particularly, meant to be fluffy. I don't know if that's a word that you use like that. So, yeah, I don't know if it's because of that or because I didn't use the combination flour with baking powder, and I only used self-raising flour. Not sure. So now I'm going to do what the recipe says, which is just brush a little bit of warm honey on the top, and I've just warmed it up for less than a minute in the microwave. By the time I turned everything on here, it already kind of solidified again, but I think it's okay. I don't think it's I think it's just meant to be sort of like a glaze, and something to to make the coconut stuck to the surface. I think that's enough, but maybe I'll just use a little bit more on the sides here, like this. Okay. Let's put this out of the way. So I'll open my desiccated coconut, finely ground coconut. Great for baking, finely ground to add sweetness to your cooking and baking. So yeah, I think that's enough. So I'm going to try it now. So, because that's the most important part with a recipe that I've never made before. I'll start with this bit because it's a little bit more risen. I'm just scared it didn't, work. And also remember that I just randomly added some flour for no apparent reason. Going completely, against the recipe. Let's see. So it looks quite soft. I have to say, I thought it would have been, more of a kind like a raw consistency, if that makes sense. I know what I mean. I don't know if you do. Let's try a little bit. Wow, this is such a surprising taste. It's like I can't taste the individual ingredients anymore. I'm just tasting them together. It's like they created a new one. Wow, I'm really surprised. I definitely didn't need to add a little bit more flour. I think it has not dried it, but yeah, I can tell I didn't need to add it, but it's still good. It is, yeah, the flavor is really surprising, and I think the lemon really makes the other flavors shine. That's the feeling I got. So in Italy, we don't tend to use a lot of icing and frosting, stuff like to top our cakes, basically. Also because we tend to eat them at breakfast. At least, these kinds. But if you're used to, put icing on your cakes, I think this would be very nice with it. And if you're wondering whether this tastes like carrot cake, absolutely not. And I'm very surprised by that. I guess it's because there are no nuts in it, and there are no raisins. I'm not sure, but I'm just very surprised by the taste. Really nice. And I'll tell you another thing, because on the recipe here it says to serve this with a cup of tea, and I swear to you, I get it. I absolutely get why they wrote that. It would really be, it's sparing, basically. It's really, well, yeah, it's weird. I'm wondering if the fact that I used, vanilla seeds has made any difference here, because I don't know. I just the flavors are just work together perfectly. So let me know if you're going to make this cake, and most importantly, if you did, and how you found it. I'm going to link the recipe and it's in Italian, but it's quite easy to translate, I think, just because you've seen me using the ingredients, and I told you what they were and translated the recipe for you. But to let me know if you need help. And yeah, I'll be very curious to know if you try it with some sort of icing, like a classic carrot cake one, or maybe like buttercream, I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this video. Buon appetito e a presto.